My story isn't a slogan or a headline, it's not something you can boil down to a soundbite for the evening news. It's a map, a complex winding map of choices drawn on the pavement of these very streets. People see the destination, the man I am today, and they think the path was straight. But a map shows you all the dead ends, all the wrong turns, all the mountains you had to climb. It shows you where you came from and every single step it took to get somewhere new. My map is etched with struggle, but it's the choices I made at each crossroad that define the journey. It's a story of transformation, not of magic. It's a testament to the fact that your starting point does not have to be your final destination. I carry a crown, but the one I wear today is nothing like the one I used to bear. That first crown was forged in the shadows, heavy with fear and a false sense of power. It was a weight on my soul. This new one, it's a badge I wear in the light. It's a crown of responsibility, of service, of knowledge. It's lighter because it's held up by my community. I am Malik Alim, a name given to me by my mother. But I am also Noble King Knowledge, a name I earned. Noble for the righteous path I now walk. King because a true king doesn't rule his people. He serves them, he protects them. And knowledge because the wisdom gained through hardship is the most powerful tool we have to build a better future. I grew up in a world where the curriculum was survival. The most important lesson of the day wasn't in a textbook. It was taught on the corner, in the hallways, in the tense silence between sirens. Study was a luxury. Survival was a necessity. We learned to read people before we learned to read books. We learned the physics of a fight before we learned the physics of the universe. The street became my uniform. It was more than just clothes. It was a posture, a way of talking, a mask you wore for protection. I claimed a name that sounded powerful, a name that echoed in the neighborhood. But that power was an illusion, and it carried a heavy, heavy price. The price was peace of mind. It was the trust of my family. It was the constant gnawing fear that your reign could end in a single violent moment. It was a debt paid with pieces of your own humanity. Then came the moment of reckoning. It wasn't a lightning strike from the heavens, it was a slow dawning realization in the quiet of a prison cell, in the disappointed eyes of my mother, in the reflection of a man I no longer recognized. I stood at a crossroads, forced to choose between the crown that harms and a future that heals, between a legacy of pain and a legacy of purpose. And let me be clear, it wasn't a single day. It wasn't one grand gesture. It was a war waged every single morning when I woke up. It was the decision to pick up a book instead of a weapon. It was the choice to open the Quran and seek guidance, to study the law and understand the system that shaped our lives. It was the daily, grueling and deliberate act of rebuilding myself, brick by brick, choice by choice. My identity is my foundation. BMK, Boricua Muslim King. Boricua is the pride in my blood, my heritage, the rhythm of my ancestors that beats in my heart. It connects me to my people. Muslim is the anchor for my soul. My faith gave me a code, a discipline, a framework for justice and compassion that replaced the chaotic code of the street. And King, as I said, is about service. With this new foundation, I traded fronts for fronts. I left behind the old front, the false bravado, the tough guy act, and built a new one. A storefront, a community center, a real physical presence on the street that feeds our people with safer deeds, with real opportunities, with hope. Today, we are the Noble Young Lords Party. The name is a nod to history, to those who came before us and fought for their communities. But we are a new movement for a new time. We are disciplined, not just in our appearance, but in our minds and our actions. We are lawful because we've learned that true power lies in understanding and using the law to protect, not to exploit. We are wholly dedicated to service. We are what they call credible messengers, and that credibility is our currency. It was earned through shared experience. We can reach the young man on the corner because we were that young man. We can talk to the family in crisis because we've lived that crisis. We don't just have a mission, we have a public purpose, to reclaim our neighborhoods not through force, but through relentless, unwavering service. Our shield is the Constitution of the United States. We don't run from the law, we arm ourselves with it. We teach our youth their rights, we help families navigate the system, we ensure that justice is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all. Our code is service. That means we show up. We walk the streets, not to intimidate, but to ensure safety. We protect the kids on their way to school. We protect the moms coming home from work. We protect the elders sitting on their stoops. We are the guardians of the light in our community. that fragile, precious light of hope, safety, and potential. Every bag of groceries we deliver, every dispute we mediate, every child we mentor, it's all fuel for that light. In this life, you'll find there are two kinds of people. There are the righteous ones, and there are those who forget the lessons. Forgetting is easy. It's easy to slip back into old habits, to let ego and pride dictate your actions. The righteous path is harder. It demands more. We stand with the righteous. We stand with those who choose accountability for their past and responsibility for their future. We stand with those who are committed to constant learning, because wisdom is a journey, not a destination. And above all, we stand with those who choose service over swagger. Swagger is loud, but it's empty. Service is quiet, but it builds legacies. It builds strong communities. It builds a future where the next generation's map has more open roads and fewer dead ends. That is the crown I wear now. That is the work we do. There is a love that is spoken of, and then there is a love that is lived. Love of the people is not a sentiment, it is an action. It is the unwavering commitment to follow the rules that protect us all. Not just the laws written in books, but the unwritten covenants of community, respect, and mutual aid. It begins with the understanding that our freedom is bound together. We stand on the foundation of justice, but we know that true justice is not found only in courtrooms. It is found in the daily practice of looking out for one another. This love compels us to defend the vulnerable, not as saviors, but as neighbors. It means standing with the tenant facing an unjust eviction, shielding a child from harm, and ensuring our elders are honored, not forgotten. It means we feed the hungry, not with leftover scraps of charity, but by building our own tables. We plant community gardens, turning forgotten lots into sources of nourishment and pride, creating food sovereignty one block at a time. And crucially, we teach the young to read and to reason. We don't just want them to know facts. We want them to understand systems, to think critically, to question injustice, and to build a vocabulary for their own liberation. Our work is born from the drum of the streets, the rhythm of our history, the pulse of our resilience, the heartbeat that echoes in our music and our stories. But we are not content to simply listen to that beat. We add to it. We add the steady beat of the block's repair, the sound of hammers and saws, the sweep of brooms, the laughter of neighbors working side by side. This is how we build a safer future, not by waiting for outside help that may never come, but with hands that actually care, hands that have felt the grit and grime, hands that know the weight of the work because they belong to the people who call this place home. Our leadership is guided by a simple, powerful principle. The crown is constitutional. This means power is not a prize to be won, but a responsibility to be carried. The crown signifies sovereignty over oneself and service to the community, and it is bound by the constitution of our shared values: accountability, transparency, and integrity. There is no king here but the people. The code is the path we defend, a code of honor that dictates our every move. It is this code that allows us to serve with a unique blend of principles. We serve with mercy, which is the courage to offer a second chance and to see the potential in those society has written off. Mercy is not pity. It is the profound understanding that any of us can stumble and all of us deserve a hand to get back up. We serve with wisdom, the kind that is earned through experience, learned from our elders, and sharpened by a deep study of our history. It is the wisdom to know when to act and when to listen, when to push and when to be patient. And we serve with the strength of a friend, a strength that is reliable, loyal, and unwavering. It is not the brute force of intimidation, but the quiet, powerful strength that says, "I am here for you. We are in this together." If you are out there watching this and you feel a fire in your heart but don't know where to point its flame, if you are tired of the injustice and hungry for a purpose, then we are talking to you. If you're looking for a path that blends courage with compassion, a place where your energy can build something real and lasting, then join us. This isn't a club, it's a commitment. You can volunteer your time, whether it's an hour on a Saturday for a neighborhood cleanup or a few hours a week at our after-school program. Your presence matters. You can mentor, sharing the skills and wisdom life has given you. Guide a young person navigating the challenges we all once faced. Coach a team, teach a craft, be the role model you wish you had, or you can simply show up. Attend the community meetings, support the local businesses, be a good neighbor. Showing up is the first step to taking ownership of our collective future. Every action, no matter how small it seems, contributes to the foundation of safer, stronger neighborhoods. In this work, culture is everything. But our culture is the way we move, not just a name we keep or a flag we wave. It is in the way we conduct ourselves when no one is watching. It's in the respect we show in a disagreement, in our commitment to hearing every voice, and in how we celebrate our shared progress. We understand that unity is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to resolve it with honor. That is why we keep the door open for growth always, but we keep it firmly closed for grudges. We address issues head-on, with honesty and a focus on restoration, not retribution. Our energy is too precious to be wasted on internal division. We grow, we learn, we adapt, and we move forward, together. This is a journey of transformation, from street life to service, from isolation to brotherhood, from feeling powerless to realizing the power we have when we rise together. This is the essence of BMK, Noble King Knowledge. To be noble is to live by a code of honor. To be a king is to be sovereign over your own mind and actions, a leader in your own right. And to have knowledge is to possess the wisdom to use that sovereignty for the good of all. This is not a distant dream. This is how we build the future, brick by brick, person by person. It is a future built on service, rooted in love, and defended by a code of unbreakable principles. And it requires the most important element of all, you. The transformation starts with you.